Hi guys, Luke Jones here from DartsMad, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by former guest and PDC ranking semi-finalist Aaron Beeney. Thanks for coming on, Aaron.
Always a pleasure, Luke. Always.
I bet that sounds good.
Sorry?
I bet that sounds good, PDC ranking semi-finalist.
It still sounds weird. Like, it makes me wonder, like, if I can make it to the televised, is that how I'm going to be announced to the stage? I wonder.
That'd be nice. Obviously we spoke at the beginning of COVID last year, and
Yeah.
a few things have changed since then. Which we can
actually won a game.
yeah, we'll come to that. But I want to start off. The first thing you've done after we spoke is you signed for a darts manufacturer, Loxley Darts. How does it feel having people buying Aaron Beeney darts and Aaron Beeney shirts?
I actually had this conversation with Matt Edgar and Ryan Searle. Like, we all find it really weird that people were wearing stuff with our name on them, like buying boxes with our faces. Like, it's so strange. It barely seems real.
Yeah.
But like, things are out there. People are buying stuff with my name on it. It's amazing.
Obviously, I don't like to remind you too much, but you lost your first 15 matches on the main tour. You broke your deck at the Summer Series last year. You beat Scott Waite in the last leg decider, which you've come accustomed to winning last leg deciders. Describe the feeling when that winning double goes in and you've finally won a game.
The one against Scott Waite, I'm not going to lie. I think it was a double 12, and I have no idea how it went in. It was just like the pressure was so big. Like, it's like this is the opportunity that I can actually win a game, and I almost blindly just flung it at that double, just with nothing but hope.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it went in. And yeah, it felt like such a weight off of me to finally get that win.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I texted you after that game. I can't repeat what I said, but there were a few expletives in there.
Yeah. Yeah. What a moment! Like, I just couldn't even get into that position, and I think that was the first time I was at 5 legs. I think had a few 6-4 losses, so so it felt amazing. Just that, like, to get to 5 legs and close it out on the 6. Yeah, amazing.
And you don't see players getting interviewed by Dan Dawson after winning their first round on the Pro Tour, but that must have felt surreal, and it shows how big that win was and how much people wanted you to pick up that win.
Yeah, and like we're talking people, other dart players in the room as well. Like, like the word spread that, I was on my way to possibly winning a game, and I know Nathan Aspinall, like a few others, were watching Darts Connect. Like, there was a group, apparently there was a group of like 10, 12 people all watching it, just like, come on, Beanie. But yeah, like, everyone was rooting for it to happen. And to be dragged off for an interview straight away, very odd. Like, that never happens on the Pro Tour.
I don't think Scott Waite wanted you to win, though.
No, but that was like, although there was that aura of everyone's like rooting for me to get that first win, there was also that thing where no one wanted to be the first one to lose to me.
Yeah.
And that pressure was building on my opponents after every game I lost. Like, that was definitely a thing. Like, no one wanted to be that first one.
Yeah. You won your second game then at the Autumn Series, where you beat Christian Bunce. At that stage, did you feel like you were starting to belong at this level?
That was actually a really awkward thought came into my head during the Christian Bunce match. and I was 5-0 up. And I just totally lost it because in my head I was like, no one should lose to me 6-0. Yeah. And I was playing well and I just totally bombed for a couple of legs just because it was like, no one deserves to lose to me 6-0.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was, I say, getting over the line with that, getting that first win gave me a bit more freedom and I wasn't as nervous.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre how it affects your mentality. Just scraping over the line for the first time. But yeah, I was rewarded after beating Christian with playing Jose de Souza next. So yeah, not the best follow up.
No, it's no, he's done a few things in the PDC, so it's I can think of better second round games.
Yeah. That was not the one I wanted. Not the one I wanted, because that was just as he was starting to become the monster that we know now.
Yeah.
So.
And then you won your third game then at the Winter Series where you beat Michael Barnard, and then came agonisingly close to making your first ever board final. You lost to Martin Kriemacher 6-5. It's not like you to lose 6-5s. At that,
it was 6-4. It was 6-4, Clearmaker, I think. Wasn't it?
I'm sure it said 6-5 on Dart Connect. At that point, though, did you think next step now is to make a board final?
Yeah. It's all on the day with me. I mean, just look at Q School. Like, if I hit that first win, I always feel like, right, here we go. And I feel like if I get through round one, I'm likely to make it to the board final, and that's in my head. I can go on a bit of a run, but yeah, and it was agonisingly close with Martin Clearmacher. Each leg was agonisingly close. Okay. Like, I missed darts to win a couple of the ones he won. So I knew, that was a real settler for me. I know I lost the game, but you know, being in the second round and getting that close.
Yeah, it's all development, isn't it?
Yeah, and it did feel like development. It's bizarre. The way the human mind works in these situations is bizarre.
And then the very next day, then you picked up another win against Joe Moonan. How did it feel coming away from the Winter Series with a couple of wins? Because you picked one up at the Summer Series, one at the Autumn Series, and then you picked two up at the Winter Series.
And not only did I pick up 2 wins, I also played Mickey Mansell, and I think I missed about 700 darts at double 18 and double 9 to close that out. So that was another one that I could have won, but I literally, I'll be honest, it was about 10 darts I missed at 18s and 9s.
Yeah.
To get the win over Mickey, and it was just like, right, I've arrived, and that was. Yeah, it felt fitting that I only had one day where I was thoroughly beaten.
Yeah.
And the rest, I was competitive every time I lost. And it was, that was the moment I thought, right, now I belong. Because I wasn't a walkover. People were, a couple of times, needing me to miss to beat me.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, I've arrived. Took a year, but I've arrived.
And then obviously this year they've continued with the blocks of tournaments. They've got the 4 in one go now. Do you like that setup?
Yes, 100%. It's so much better for me, and I'd like to think it's so much better for anyone that still works full time outside of that as well.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to use your annual leave or even unpaid days off to take that block out rather than feeling pressured to do your day job like Monday to Friday, then kind of do a half day Friday, travel, play Saturday, play Sunday, travel, back in work Monday.
Yeah.
At the start of the year, I found that tough and tiring, and I think the switching to the blocks is what really helped me settle into the tour. The longer they're around, the longer I'll be around, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to take you to the first Super Series event this year. We've had 3 already. You lost in the round 1 on day 1, and then you see the draw on day 2, and you see that if you beat Jason Lowe in round 1, you're likely to play world champion and world number 1 Gerwyn Price in round 2. Did that spur you on to win that first game? Did it give you that extra motivation? I want to test myself against the world number 1 and world champ.
Honest answer, I had no idea. I look at what game number I am and who that opponent is, and Jason, he's been brilliant. He's one of the most consistent people on the tour, and I thought, right, here's a mark. Like, he is a mark. He's got to be, with his consistency, in and around that 64. All the time he's got a tour card, he's going to be edging on the edge of keeping it. So this is a real test for me. The thought was obviously try and win the match. I had no idea who was waiting for me afterwards at all, until I'd done it, and then so I went Gerwyn next. I was like, oh. I think it was John Worsley that came up to me and went yeah, you've got Gerwyn next. Like, oh crap.
Thanks for that. And you did beat Jason though, and you beat him convincingly. You won 6-2 with a 91 average. And then that set up the encounter with Gerwyn Price. What are you thinking going into that game? Are you thinking, just keep it respectable?
Keep it respectable. Don't, world champion, world number 1 or not, don't go out to him 6-0. Do not go out 6-0. Stay in the match as long as you can. Like I say, I'm always trying to win every leg. I don't care if you're throwing first or I am. I want to win that leg. But I know on his throw, there's a possibility I'm only going to throw 9 darts.
That's it.
Because he's insanely good at 11 and 12 darters. But just stay in it. Make him play for the win. Don't give him free money. He's got enough of that.
Just a bit. I don't think he struggles to get by.
Nah, not when you're world champion. That really helps. It's quite a paycheck.
And I think you probably found yourself shocked at being 5-1 up. And then you had 2 darts in your hand. I think you had 60 left to win a 6-1. What are you thinking when you got those 2 darts to beat the world champion and world number 1?
For the whole match, I'm 5-1 up. We're now in the 7th leg. And I've got myself down to 60, and I am focused. I was so focused, and I'm just like, this is going to go. And I just went big 20, and the second dart at tops was right on the wire, and I actually if I step over, and it weren't until I just took 3-inch step to the right so I could get round that barrel. And I was like, if this goes in, you beat the world champion 6-1. It didn't occur to me until that moment, and everything wobbled. And that was probably the worst dart for tops anyone's ever seen in their life. It was probably closer to treble 20 than tops. But it hit me then. And I don't know why. Just the moment my foot moved to line up that last dart at tops to take out 60 to win 6-1, I was like, hit this and you beat the world champion 6-1. Oh no. And it just really, bizarre. And it took me a little while to get back, and then Gerwyn started playing properly again.
He came racing back to 5-5. I think you did have another match dart. I think you had a pop at the 104, was it?
No, the 104 was in an earlier leg. I think I took a 104 against him. I may have had a second go.
I think it was something like that. I think you missed maybe double 16 at.
Yeah, I think you're right. it's hard to remember every dart. But
well,
I think
it's hard when you're keeping track on Dart Connect as well, when you can't actually see you throwing the
Yeah, because I had someone asking me, like, that just watched it on Dart Connect, how I've left 32 off a 1-2-1. I was like, well, I was in front, so I went for the 25, and I hit the bullseye. Left me 79 or 71, and then I went treble 13. And so it was bullseye, treble 13. I never thought I could go that way. I was like, yeah, I missed the dart for it. Like, how have you left 32 off a 1-2-1? So it is. I know how weird it is when people are watching Dart Connect. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as long as you do, that's all that counts. You obviously came racing back to 5-5 and he takes it to a last leg. He's got the darts. Are you thinking, I've blown this now? No.
In my head was the fact that I win last leg deciders. This is my thing. And it was in my head. I was like, right, do it. Last leg decider, this is your thing. And it worked. Honestly, games I win the last leg decider. Unbelievable. I don't make it easy for myself at all.
No. You had 86 left. You took that out on the bull. I think that's how you won your tour card on the bull as well, wasn't it?
I won my tour card on the bull, but the 86, I actually went 54 outside and in the 32.
Ah, right. That's my mistake.
Yeah. It wasn't a bullseye because everyone was like, "You've done him on the bullseye," isn't it? Like, no, it was a 32. I promise.
Okay, let's scratch that. You took 86 out on double 16 to get a breaker throw in 15 darts to beat the reigning world champion and world number 1. What's going through your head when that double goes in?
Absolutely nothing. Honestly, there was tumbleweeds. It was the same feeling I had when I did win my tour card. It was,
oh my God,
what have I just done? That's the only match that I've had where the feeling was identical to when I won my tour card. It was like, oh my God, what have I just done? I couldn't get over it. Like, I was buzzing, absolutely buzzing.
And it's not as if Gezi played bad either. I think he averaged 93, which is a really good standard. But obviously, you made the most of the missed opportunities, and that's what you do, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I got to 5-1 up because he wasn't on a 93 average. He got back to 5-all because he brought it up big time. He let me have opportunities, lots of them, and I took them. I was in a position to take them. I think he underestimated because of my past results. And my averages, but my winning legs are decent, but my bad legs are bad. So I do think he relaxed too much, and then when I got to that point of he's got nowhere to go now, he focused more, and he played like the Gezi we know, but that last leg was tight.
Was he thinking, can I play Gezi every tournament?
No. In fact, I was thinking of handing my tour card back so I can walk away saying I got 100% record against the world number 1. Just remove the chance of ever playing him again so I can say that.
I think it was mentioned on Matty Edgar's show last week. He didn't turn up the next day.
No. He was struggling with an earache. Like when he came to the board, I could see he had like cotton wool and stuff. So I know he wasn't feeling 100%, but absolute professional and a gentleman. He shook my hand, said, "Well played."
Yeah. I remember then on Dart Connect, I seen you had John Michael in the board final, and I thought that's quite a favourable draw, but I didn't really take into account the adrenaline what would have been flowing through your body after that.
Yeah, I just couldn't get myself like back down. I was on cloud nine. I was buzzing, and
Yeah.
I just totally lost control. It should have been a decent match,
Yeah.
like me and John, but no, I was awful. The adrenaline was flowing and uncontrollably so.
Yeah. You didn't win another game in Super Series 1 after that game, but you must have been delighted with what you had achieved.
Yeah, like how can you not be? Like
Yeah.
it was amazing, and it was a really good kickstart to my season mentally, because now I've got I've beat the world number one.
Yeah.
We weren't World Championship winning form, but I beat him.
Yeah, that's it.
And I can, in my mind now, I can beat anyone. I've done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They miss, I hit. Like, and it will be a case of they miss, I hit.
Yeah.
I'm not at the kind of upper echelons where I'm going to dominate.
Mm.
But there, they know now that they need to take out these finishes and not give me the opportunity, because I'm likely to take that.
Yeah. And after that, you went to the UK Open. You knew you were going to be making your TV debut, because you came up against Lisa Ashton on the main stage. Unfortunately for you, Lisa became the first lady in history to average over 100 on TV. To be fair, you did stick with her for the first few legs. You played really well. But obviously you couldn't keep up with Lisa. But what was it like to be part of that match? Because obviously it was a bit of history as well.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing was just amazing. Like when you get to the walk-on area, like before you go on, like there's John McDonald, like just having a chat. Russ Bray says hello, and I was really nervous about the walk-on. I was like, I know I can do the darts bit, but like, what's the etiquette? Like, what table's mine? Like, but Lisa really calmed me down. She went into like proper mum mode, because me and Lisa get really well anyway. And so we've done the walk on, and you probably notice on the thing, like we're talking to each other the whole way up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get there, and Lisa's won the ball. I didn't expect her to first three darts to be a 180, and I was just like, oh, here we go. But when you're up there, I mean, there was no crowd, but I mean, you've got all that space out behind you and the big screen showing the photos, of the fan board. But even when you're into the match, you don't even notice Russ Bray and the chalkers. You're just looking at that board. You're looking at your score that's left. And my first 6 darts were rubbish, but then I settled in, and it became a proper dart match. And I know by the end, like towards the end of leg 5, both of us were averaging over 100.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And I'd worked my way back in, but then it was right. We're back on throw. Although we're both averaging 100, Lisa's now 3-2 up, and it was just like, right, one more treble per leg, and that's all I need. And it was Lisa, the pressure of Lisa, not the situation, not any of that. It was the fact that I think 4 out of 8 legs, her first 6 darts were a 180 and a 140. Oof. Just like, wow. So I tried too hard rather than just settling in and doing it. I tried too hard, and I felt like anyone that plays knows the moment you start trying, it's never going to work. You've just got to.
You're just forcing.
Yeah. But it was Lisa's power scoring just totally blew me.
Mental.
And you can't actually hear it, but when you see, because I've watched it back, and you see me lean over and like give her a little fist bump, and I actually say to her, "How many 180s?" And that's what I'm saying to her at that moment. So I knew it was good, but I didn't realise like she's just set a record.
Yeah.
But we all knew it was good. It was a great performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a special moment.
And then you went on to Super Series 2. You actually cashed in 3 out of the 4 events, including on day 3, where you produced by far the finest performance of your PDC career to date. You beat Dirk Van Diving Board with a 6.5 again, with a 99.2 average. But you were over the 100 until the last leg. Did that performance surprise you?
Yes, yeah, it did. It did surprise me. I can't lie, but I know that game's in there.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've done that over shorter formats like Super League or just practicing one-on-one with someone who's a similar level.
Yeah.
I know. I think the best I've ever done. I think I've done 7 14 dart legs in a row. So I know I can do that.
Yeah.
But it's different when you're actually there and you're playing someone like Dirk who's hit like just banging straight back at you.
It's mental.
Yeah, and so I've always known that's in the locker somewhere, but I've never been able to find it. To find it that day,
yeah,
unreal. And again, last leg decider against the throw.
Yeah.
On a double 7 of all things. Yeah, I think it was 88 left. Treble 20 was right in the middle, and I know I threw that dart at double 14 too quick. I just go in, and it was well inside. But I composed for double 7, and what a dart! But I think Dirk had missed a dart to win it.
Yeah, I think he missed the field, didn't he?
I think I don't know. The last leg, it was either only 1 or 2 darts, I think, because it was a tidy leg of darts. But
yeah,
that's my favourite PDC moment.
Yeah.
Because it was a belter of a match. It showed what I can do, and that's what I need to find more consistently.
Yeah.
It was solid, and I just felt so good during that match.
Yeah. I gotta turn our attention now to Super Series 3 in Germany. That didn't go too bad for you, I don't think. Well, on day 1, you lost 6-0 to William O'Connor. And then day 2 comes. Could you ever have imagined what was about to unfold?
No, not even remotely. But I mentally went into that day quite healthy, with how I was playing. The 6-0 loss to Willie was. He said, "I have no idea how I've won that match." It was everything was on the wire. It was, and even he said, I should have been 5-1 down. And I was like, I know, but it was just like that. I was so close. The 6-0 was a really unfair result, and we both knew it. And Willie, he's such an honest guy.
Yeah.
And I went into the next day thinking, throw like that again, they're likely to go the right side of the wire rather than the wrong. Just keep doing what I'm doing. And it was that was a 6-0 loss. That is what sent me into the day quite confident with how I was performing.
Yeah.
And I told a few people before I went, I'm going to win a board. I'm going to win a board final.
Yeah.
That's happening. I've made it to a couple. I'm winning one while I'm in Germany. I'm playing well enough. I'm confident it's going to happen. And I did what I set out to do. I won that board final. Yeah. But then I won a couple more. And, totally unexpected. But no idea. And again, it was last leg deciders and taking my chances again. It was, I think the only even reasonably dominant one was the board final against Soren Lerchbacher, because I had it in my head. I walked to there and I was like, I've already won this because I know I'm winning a board final this week. And it was ridiculous level of confidence I went to the board with. It wasn't anything to do with who my opponent was. I was confident because it's like, this is the moment I'm going to do what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, and again, just last league deciders after last league deciders.
That's what you do.
Yeah, unshakable at 5'5".
On that day, you started out beating Mikael Interbuckner, and then you come up against Rob Cross in round 2, and you found yourself 5-2 down. But again, you come back, you survive match darts, you won it 6-5. Yeah, and you mentioned there, you said you was going to win your board, and I texted you after that game. I think there was probably expletives in there again. I do swear a lot. And you told me I'm winning this board today. And then you backed up by beating Zoran 6-3. Did that show how much you've grown in the PDC and like you can back up those wins against those massive players?
Yeah, and honestly, if I hadn't have had that experience against Gezi,
yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to do it. Because when I beat Rob Cross, all that was in my head is don't repeat the Gezi moment. Do not repeat. And I just suppressed it, didn't even think about it. Go away, chill out, put the darts down, relax, then go back to it. And I think because with the Gezi one, a lot of people come up to me afterwards and was like, go on, like, fair play, look what you've done, do you believe now? And there was loads of that in the room, loads of it.
Yeah.
But after the Rob Cross match, I zoned out, and I had a few people come up to me, but I tried to avoid having that moment of buzzing, and I got it right. I did get it right, and I managed to get into that next match, like I say, focused without the adrenaline that I probably should have had for what I'd just done.
Yeah.
But the Gezi match taught me a lot, and again, I won my board final. I was like, knew I was going to do it, and I could feel the adrenaline coming up. Right, compose yourself, and after every single game, it was recalling the game against Gezi and how badly I failed at being able to control my own emotion.
Yeah,
and I got there with it, and I felt more professional. I felt more competitive. It was a good day.
and then you survived more match darts in the last 16 against William Ball, and surprise, you won 6-5. Set up a last 8 encounter with I don't know if many people have heard of him, Raymond van Barneveld, I think his name was.
Yeah, little known, new tool card holder, isn't he?
yeah, he's a new tool card holder. He looks all right. What were your thoughts going into that one? Obviously, in all seriousness, he's a legend. He's a 5-time champion of the world. What was that like?
It was an absolute moment of clarity for me. I've already gone past where I thought I could, and it's given me an opportunity to play a proper game of darts, not an exhibition, a proper game of darts against a real legend. This is why people want their tour card.
Exactly.
Like, it's these experiences. And I walked to that board, and all I could think was, I get to play Raymond van Barneveld. If I lose, I've lost to a 5-time world champion legend. But I've had this opportunity. If I win, I'm a hero. There was no way mentally I could lose the match, because even if I lost the match, what an experience! Like, I've got to do something very few people can say, and that is I've played Raymond van Barneveld in a ranking quarter final.
Yeah.
And it's a memory no one can take from me. Lose 6-1, fine. It was Raymond, this legend. But no, that mindset, like I say, I'm just going to go out there and play, just see what happens. And there was no pressure mentally. I was so calm because I'd already decided I can't lose, even if I lose. Didn't expect the scoreline as it was, though.
Yeah. Obviously, you smashed him really 6-2 to set up a semi-final clash with Michael Smith. you must have been thinking, what the hell is going on?
You know what? At this moment, I'm still not. I'm still thinking back to that Gezi match. Don't get excited.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And I just kept it down. And I managed to hold it all in. There's time to celebrate later. At the moment, I'm doing a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was bizarre. And there was this real, I knew, well, no, that's a lie. I didn't know it was semi-final until one of the officials said, "Are you on the stream now?" I went, "Oh, about time." He went, "Well, you're in the last four. You had no choice." I'm like, oh, it's semis. Oh. And so I went out for one last, because I am a smoker, I went out for one last cigarette because that gave me a bit of nerves. I was like, right, go calm down. Yeah. And Michael Smith was out there. And I realised I'd left my smokes inside. I was like, oh. And he went, no, I have one of mine. And we actually had a chat before the game. I was smoking one of his cigarettes. And it's just like, this is weird. I'm just going into the biggest moment of my life. And this guy, my opponent, one of the greats in the game at the moment.
Yeah.
Just chatting away. He's complimentary of well, fair play on getting this far. You're really starting to get into it. And we're just having a real proper conversation. And that mellows right up. And then, we get into the room. Then it's game on.
Yeah.
And the mindset changes when you enter them live stream booths all the time. It really does.
At any point, did the thought of winning it sneak into your mind? Winning the whole thing sneak in your mind?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I just, like I say, the thoughts in my head were the Gezi Price moment and keep yourself calm and Q School. Because I was in that same zone of, right, that's done, go chill out, get ready, on to the next. That's done, go chill out, on to the next. And I was that calm, and the occasion wasn't getting to me. They're saying, you're in the quarters, you've got Barney, can't lose. And it was that, I've already gone further than I had hoped. I'm happy where I am. And I was so calm. But there was a moment where I was thinking, I've beat Barney, I've beat Rob Cross, I've beat Gezi, I can beat Smith.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I could do this. This could happen for me today because my luck is in. My opponents are giving me chances. They're missing match winners. I'm going up. And you do need that bit of luck on your side. And I was like, I could ride this all the way today. But it wasn't to be. The dream died at the semi, but I wasn't disappointed. I took 4 legs. I felt like I was in the match. I had a couple of lazy drifty ones into the 5, but I felt like I was there or thereabouts. Michael Smith was just a better player.
Yeah. You must have had to peel yourself from the ceiling that night.
I was okay until I then went back to the room afterwards and I looked at how many notifications are on my phone. I was like, oh, wow. So I answered a couple and then I put it down. I was like, right, I'm going to go down and get some food because it was quite late in the day. Normally I'd go eat with Matt Edgar, Ryan Searle. I knew they'd already gone. They weren't waiting for me. He's still in. I'm hungry. So so I thought, right, I'll go down and get some food before that stops. So I went down, got a bite to eat, had a beer, and I'm sat there just by myself eating my dinner, and people were just walking past, well played today, mate. Just constantly walking past, like fist bumping, well played, get in, son, that was awesome, great. And then I kind of again ignored the phone, and I ended up just sat outside, couple of beers with a couple of the lads on the tour, and they're all just like, you hero, absolute hero. And that was when I was like, they built me up. Like I was still quite calm. I was keeping professional about it, but yeah, no, other people were just like building it on me, and I was on the ceiling then. I was loving the attention.
Silly question, but did that run affect your performance against Mensa the next day? You obviously got whitewashed and with a 74 average.
It wasn't mentally.
No,
it was physically.
Yeah.
I'm not shy about talking about the fact I do have issues with my joints.
Yeah,
my arm felt like lead, and it was my arm was done, and it was such an effort trying to practice. Like I got down there and I said to Matt, I can barely get my arm up. Like I know my elbow's low. I know it's going. Like I'm lazy. It's like I've just not. My arm's not with me.
Yeah.
I've lost my arm today, and the most annoying bit, and I think the only reason it ended up a 6-0 absolute drubbing was 10 minutes before the game started. I actually finally, after a few hours, hit a few trebles. I was like, right, right, go on, I'm back in now. I'm back in. And then I got to the match board, and the arm just couldn't find them trebles again. And yeah, I say I never give up. I did there. I genuinely, I didn't feel like it was in me. I always say, I'd never give up. I don't give up. No, I did there.
Yeah.
Because it was not embarrassing, but it was just like it's not my day. Like my arm's given up on me. Yesterday was good. On to tomorrow, and I was only about 3 or 4-0 down, but I already knew like on to tomorrow.
Yeah. You went back. You regrouped. I think you got the rest you needed, and then in the final day, first game you beat John Worsley. What was the score? Oh yeah, 6-5. Then you survived darts against Mervyn King, 6-5. You win to reach another board final. You eventually went down to Scott Mitchell, 6-3 in the board final. But did you show your mental toughness? When the amount of games you won in last leg deciders?
There's clearly I've got something that holds me together in them moments. I wish I knew what it was, but that day was really interesting, like dart psychology wise.
Yeah.
Because me and John Worsley we've spoken since 2018 when I first ever go at Q School, because the best game of darts I've ever played in my life was against him.
Yeah.
At Q School in 2018, and that was big average. That was a monster game, and I went we've wound each other up about that for 3 years, and there's a lot of like in joke with me and the Womble on that one game, and I saw the draw and I was like, oh no, he owes me one. So I knew he was going to be up for it. I knew he was going to be well up for it and likely to overperform or put too much pressure on himself. What actually happened is we had a really tidy game between us.
Yeah.
But I thought like he's gonna pull something out the bag here because he owes me one.
Yeah.
I've got away with it again.
Yeah.
Difference to that one though. Last leg decider on my throw.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
But Mervyn King, I think he missed about 174 darts in the last leg.
I think it was 175, but I lay you off with that one.
Like I played well to get to the 5-all.
Yeah.
But that last leg was not good. I had more than a bit of luck on my side there. But again, when I did eventually get down to a double, I think I tidied it up quite well. It was getting there. Again, it's my scoring letting me down.
Yeah. Obviously, after that, you come away from the Super Series 3. You find yourself 95th in the PDC Order of Merit. And you're in qualifying positions for Players' Championship and World Championships. Do you believe you can not only qualify for those tournaments, but then keep your tour card, which no one would have given you a hope in hell at the start of the year?
I seem to be really good at writing stories.
Yeah.
Getting my tour card was writing a story after everyone, like, because that was around the time all the BDO guys were drifting over.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it was like, oh, no unknown will get a tour card here. In steps me. 15 games without a win, and then I get one, and the whole world goes, like, the whole world of social media goes insane. Then I beat Gezi. Like, who would have seen that coming? Then I have a run to a semi-final. I just keep writing different stories. That's the biggest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I can, after earning only 2,000 points on my ranking last year, so if I can then, in the space of this year, go on to keep that card, what an amazing achievement. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I am at the Players' Champs finals, I am at the Worlds.
Yeah.
And then coin toss, see if I can keep the card. It's going to rely on wins on them stages.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to win a couple of games at Ali Pali, realistically.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're probably talking 2 games or 3 across each. You know what I mean? It's achievable. It's not massive.
Yeah.
But from where I was, if I end up keeping my tour card, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm determined. I don't want to lose. I don't want to leave the tour. I love it.
But as long as you draw Gezi or Rob Cross in the World Championship, I think you'll be fine.
I seem to have a real vendetta against PDC World Champions, former and current.
Yeah.
I haven't lost a game to a PDC World Champion yet.
But does that make you want to retire? Or
I love having that line, and I know the longer I'm in there, the more chance I've got of playing them, and that will go. You know, I'm not. So as much as I love being able to say that, I'd love to stay on the tour even more.
Yeah, definitely.
But I am going to keep saying I'm unbeaten against world champions until it happens.
Yeah, I would ride that wave for as long as I can.
Yeah, There's a few moments where I give the boys at Loxley some stick, just throwing in that one.
Well,
everyone needs an opportunity to wind up Matt Edgar.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think he's got one of those faces you just want to wind him up.
Oh yeah, and he'd do the same to you, right?
He was on about when I don't know if you've heard about it, but he took a 170 out to beat Gary Anderson. So
the long one without hearing about it is about 6 days.
Yeah, so just keep letting him know you've reached the PDC ranking semi-final, and that should shut him up for a few minutes.
No, it doesn't. I've tried. It doesn't. He's back within 5 minutes. It doesn't quieten him down at all.
Well, thanks for coming back on, Aaron. It's been a massive pleasure. I've kept you talking for too long now, I think. So
Never.
I'm gonna leave you go, and I think your next in action is June the 15th, something like that, in the Super Series 4.
Yep.
It's June 14th, 15th. It's somewhere along those lines. And I wish you all the best in that one, and then you're back in July, and hopefully you can keep picking up those wins, and I want to see you keeping that tour card. No pressure.
I see some more board finals in my future.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. There'll be more runs to the board final, more opportunities.
And more wins against world champions.
More wins against world champions. That's coming. I'm doing it.
Michael van Gerwen, he's coming for you.
Ah, no, I'm coming for him, mate.
No, I mean you were coming for him.
Yeah. He's going to cop it at some point.
Well, thanks for coming on, Aaron, and obviously I wish you all the best. And just good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you very much, my friend, and keep my Twitter going strong.
I will. Don't worry about that. Cheers, Aaron.
See you later.
Bye.